This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Matt,
Yeah.
something really embarrassing happened to me the other day.
What?
And it's going to be one of those things that, you know, when something embarrassing happens, then you never forget it. Like you think about it sometimes at night.
Yeah.
So AJ and I are about to begin the second part of the renovations on our house, which is like the major renos. Like we're literally having to move out of our house for it to happen. And so we went to the joiner, like their office warehouse thing the other day to meet them in person and to just go through like cabinets and all that shit. So I'm in there. It's myself, AJ, and two of the people from the joinery place. And we've been chatting for like 20 minutes, half an hour at this point. And all of a sudden, I felt a little tickle in my throat. Like, you know when a tickle just comes on in your throat and you haven't been drinking anything or anything. Like it's just this little scratch. And I just kept talking through it and I was like, like trying to get rid of it. And I've just met these people. I'm so fucking embarrassed by this. Then all of a sudden, like the scratch got worse and worse, or like the tickle. And then I realized like, I'm about to start like coughing and choking. Like, you know, when you like can't fucking breathe because you're choking on like spit and nothing.
Yeah.
So then I start going like, like, and I'm starting to choke. Meanwhile, I've left my drink bottle in the car, which is like 20 meters away. AJ has no water on him. Then like instant panic fucking sets in. I can't breathe and I'm mortified that I'm starting to choke in front of these two people, like a guy and a girl in their fucking 30s. So then I start having the biggest coughing fit, but you know when you're coughing and choking so much that you can't talk? Like I couldn't say a word, and then I'm going like this to them, like I'm doing the cup signal with my hands because I need fucking water. And AJ starts going, what's going on? Like he can't even figure out what's happening. And then they all start running around. And they mustn't have had like a tap close by or whatever. So then the guys just like reached into this cupboard or whatever and pulled out soda, like mineral water. And so like at this point I'm like, give me fucking anything. I've got tears rolling down my eyes because I'm fucking choking this much. Like my mascara's going. I'm like I can't breathe, I can't talk. Meanwhile, I'm also so mortified and AJ's like half laughing because he's fucking embarrassed. Then this guy gives me his, like, you know, the San Pellegrino green mineral water.
Not the expensive.
I know! So then I'm chugging that down, but then because I'm choking so bad, the fizzy fucking mineral water in my throat is coming back up because it's all bubbling in my throat. Then I fucking ran outside. Meanwhile, they can see me because it's just through the windows. And I'm standing in the car park choking. I'm vomiting. Like the soda water is coming up in my throat. And AJ, I could see AJ just being like, what the fuck is going on? And this went on for like 10 minutes. Then I'm outside choking for 10 minutes until it finally goes away. But even once, like I stopped, I calmed down. I like wiped all the tears off my face. Like the scratch was still kind of there. So then I go back inside and then I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I still can't talk. And AJ's like, what the fuck is going on? It's the most embarrassing thing ever. And so then I finally calmed down. My eyes were like bloodshot because I was like choking that bad. Then I sat there for the rest of the meeting and I slowly started being able to talk again because I was worried that like the choking was going to happen again. And then I just had to like make fun of it. And towards the end, like be like, thanks so much. This didn't happen. Like I just said to them, I did not come in here and nearly choke to death in front of you all. And now it's just going to be one of those things like I'm never going to fucking forget it. And I said to them both, I'm never coming back here. I'm going to have to go with a different joiner.
You'll never see my face again.
I said like I can't be seen here ever again. Like I'm fucking so embarrassed.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Like I've got tears in my eyes just hearing that story. You know, that happened to me once, but not. It wasn't embarrassing. It was more just inconvenient because it happened to me in the back of the Uber when like COVID was huge and he had put up like Glad wrap in between us and then he was also wearing masks.
So he would have thought you had COVID or something.
Yeah, I think I had to have a mask on as well at the time. And anyway, he had this little like, you know, one of the Airwick things on the vents and the vent was in the back of the car and it was kind of blowing straight in my face and I think that's what did it to me. And I just started going and then like, you know, it got worse and worse and worse. And he pulled over and said, I have to cancel the ride. You've got to get out. And I said,
he
it's not
would've thought
COVID.
you had COVID,
I said, it's
yeah.
not COVID. It's like this thing in the back that I'm reacting to, this airwick thing. And he said, I don't care. Sorry, you've got to get out. Then I've gotten out, but that conversation is happening while I'm choking and can't breathe.
Oh.
And I've gotten out and he's just dropped me on the side of the road in Surrey Hills. Nowhere. Like, where am I getting water from? The drain on the side of the road.
Nah, it's the worst. And it reminded me as well, it happened to me once in school when we were doing a test in the hall, and you know how like the whole fucking year is in there and it's dead silent and then you're having a choking fit. That's like my worst nightmare, and it came true, and I'm so fucking embarrassed. Like, I'm embarrassed to ever go back there, but we're about to work with them for like the next 5 months. Like, we're about to work with them. So every time I see them now, I'm going to be like, I've got my water. Like, I'm going to have to make a fucking joke about it.
Oh my
or do I just not bring it up ever again?
No, I think it might be one of those things that's like
I think it's embarrassing, but it's not.
they'll never think about it again.
But it was like theatrics, man. Like, it was like, I'm choking. And AJ's like, what is going on? And he didn't have water. Oh,
I could
God.
just imagine AJ there going, what are you doing?
Yes. And I'm going,
That was a good AJ impression, by the way.
I couldn't talk. Like, that's how much I was choking. There was no words coming out.
How funny.
Not funny at the time. And then we
Nah.
got in the car, like, because we were there for like over an hour, and we got in the car and AJ was just pissing himself. He's like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, I was nearly dying. Oh, anyway, be careful out there, everyone.
Yeah.
Be careful. You can choke on nothing at a really bad time.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's more embarrassing that there was nothing to choke on. You know what I mean?
I know. We
Anyway.
were just talking and it just happened. Anyway,
Welcome to Close Friends.
yeah. I saw this TikTok and it was pretty straightforward. She said, as an adult, low maintenance friendships are the best kind of friendships.
What is a low maintenance friendship?
Like the kind of friendship where you don't have to be in each other's pocket 24/7, or like the kind of friends where you just catch up once every now and then and it's like nothing happened in between kind of thing, compared to our friendships when we were in our teens and early 20s and stuff, where I felt like the friendships that I did have back then, it was very much like you're in each other's pockets 24/7. You know everything that's going on every single day kind of thing. And she was saying, like, as an adult now, she really appreciates the more low maintenance friendships, which I agree with.
Interesting. I'm definitely a high maintenance friendship kind of person then.
See, but to me, like, I would say that mine and your friendship is low maintenance.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, I'm just thinking about, like, all my friends as a whole.
You do have a very close friends group,
Yeah.
whereas I don't.
Yeah.
I have lots of friends.
Because I'm like, I know everything about my best friend. I know everything about him, and
yeah, well,
there's no
see, I'm
stone
different.
left unturned.
I've got a lot of friends, but they're like all from different groups kind of thing, whereas I feel like you do have that very close, like, friend group and you all do things together.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
That's so random that you don't have that.
I've always
Who do you
been
hang out with?
I've always been that way.
Because you live in Newcastle.
I've always been that way, though,
Nothing
like through
to do.
school, like
Yeah.
never been in a big friend group.
Really?
Yeah. Always just floated in between groups.
Nah, I'm one of those people who has like 4 best friends, but they all serve a different purpose. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Like, what? Why? I felt attacked today. Everyone just keeps laughing
I'm
at
not
everything I
judging
say.
you.
Well, I've got best friends, but they're all, you know, because I'm one of those people who has like multiple best friends, and I always have had, because I think half of me goes, I would never want to put anyone above anyone else. I don't want there to be one best friend above. And also, I've never felt like the other person's best friend. So I get a bit scared that I'm going, you're my best friend, but they're going, that's nice, but this person over here is my best friend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
Like,
I
that's just
feel
always
like
how I felt.
I used to use the term best friend a lot, like in high school, like I had my best friend and whatever, and like in my early 20s maybe, but as I've gotten older, like that term's gone for
No.
me.
Me and my best friend the other day literally had a conversation. We were drunk and on the way to the club.
And we were
But
like, you're my best
we
friend.
were like, we were like, you know, like you're my best friend. Like there's no one above you. And he was like, yes, you are that person to me. And I was like, I am so glad you're saying this because it's so validating to me. And he's like, I love you. And I was like, I love you. We're just best friends.
That's cute.
You know, I was like, I need that in my life. You know what I mean? So I love that. we have a low maintenance friendship. I feel like a
Yes.
majority of my friends are low maintenance friendships, but I think it's important to have a couple high maintenance friendships as well, and not in the way that it's high maintenance to be with them or that person is high maintenance, like it's exhausting to be their friend. I mean, like, I want to know everything about you, and I want to see you all the time, and I want to do things together. So I think time and place
Yeah.
for those friendships. But you have no one like that in your life, is what you're saying.
It sounds like you're saying I have no fucking friends. I have a lot of friends, but I would say all of my friendships are low maintenance.
Okay.
Like, I don't have someone, like, I don't hang out with my friends on weeknights. Like, maybe my life is different, but, like, we fucking work Monday to Friday, like, solid. Like, I'm surrounded by people every single day. So the only time that I get to hang out with people is on weeknights, which I'm not fucking doing because that is a school night for me.
Yeah.
And then weekends, where AJ and I, that's where we spend our time together kind of thing. I have lots of friends, but they're all low maintenance, like, and they're all from different groups. Like, I don't have a friendship group that's like one group together and then we're all hanging out. I used to, but I don't know, life fucking gets busy. Everyone goes their separate ways. Everyone gets caught up in their own shit. And I want to normalize that because I've always kind of been that way, like never felt like I fully belonged in a friendship group. And I think a lot of people would be that way and feel like, oh, like left out. Like, I don't have a big friendship group thing. Like, I've seen videos go around on the internet talking about like how hard it is to make new friend groups, especially like in your 20s and even more so in your 30s. But I just want to throw it out there. It's normal. We're not all like Matt.
I'm being attacked. I've always felt like the person who is like not fitting into the friend group though.
I feel like
life.
you are the fucking friend group.
You reckon?
Yeah.
What, I'm the head bitch in charge, you reckon, of the
Yes,
friend
of
group?
course you
I mean,
are.
I definitely am the organiser, and
Yeah.
these days I'm the one making all the plans and going, right, what are we doing? This is what time we're arriving. Everybody meet here at this time and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, when I was younger, I was never the person who was in charge of anything. I was
Yeah.
always feeling like, am I even friends with these people? What is going on?
I feel like in school, like I always had like two besties or whatever. Like there was always like a trio or something. But otherwise, like I just floated in between all the groups and never belonged to one of the big groups. And like I never really went to any of the parties or anything that they would have. And I would always feel like left out, that I didn't have a big friendship group kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're more alike than we thought, because that was very me. And I was like, I actually had like 3 friendship groups on the go.
Yeah, me
and I'd be like,
too.
who am I sitting with today?
It's not to say
What's
that
the
I
vibe?
never didn't have friends. Like I had a lot of friends in school, but I never felt like I belonged to that one, especially like being a girl. Like you would see the girl friendship groups where there's like 10 of them and they're always doing someone's 16th birthday or whatever. Like I never felt like I belonged in any of those and always thought like I'm missing that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But it's actually more common than you think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're all about low maintenance friendships. I'm about low maintenance friendships, but I think a couple high maintenance friendships are good as well.
Yeah. You got to have a mix.
Well, you don't.
Fuck off.
You ever lived with any friends?
Yes,
Housemates? Like
yeah.
as housemates? How's that gone?
Not well.
Okay, because everyone always goes, don't live with your friends, live with your friends. I have lived with exclusively friends my whole life. I've never lived with anyone that I didn't have years of friendship with before.
Mm-hmm.
And all but one I still speak to.
Yeah.
And the one that I don't was just a random misunderstanding, crazy experience that I still to this day am like, it was during like the pandemic and lockdowns and things, and he wanted to move out, but like we didn't really know how to facilitate that in the pandemic, and I was like genuinely trying to help him through it and giving him like options, but he don't know what happened. He just was like not I think he thought that I was like either being rude or like it was a high stress time for everyone, but I genuinely was trying to help my friend and be like, these are your options, what can we do? Because he was like, hey everyone, we all need to break the lease and you guys need to pay to break the lease as well. And I was like, no, we're not paying to break the lease. We live here and we don't want to move, so we got to come to some sort of resolution here. And I was like genuinely trying to help him, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and then he just thought that I was probably being one of those high maintenance controlling friends, when I genuinely from the bottom of my heart was like trying to do the best I could for this boy. And anyway, since the day he left, like we've never spoken again. But apart from that, like everyone else I've lived with has been a friend and it can work. Still friends to
I think
this
it can
day.
too. I lived with my high school bestie like when we were 17, and then we didn't really have that much of a falling out, but it's weird. Her friends were picking on me for my YouTube videos because that's when I started doing YouTube and everything like that, and then we had a bit of a falling out because I remember her friends were like being a bit nasty about my YouTube videos, but then we like later on connected and stayed acquainted or whatever. And then I did live with one other friend, but I kind of got introduced to her and then we became friends like from living together, and that was fine.
Okay.
And then I lived with one other friend who moved out in the middle of the night. You remember that?
Were you friends beforehand?
Yes.
Wow. Do you want to like talk about this story?
Oh, yeah, but I don't want to fucking throw anyone under the bus because I have no fucking hard feelings at all. But in a nutshell, if everyone must know, my old boyfriend from many years ago it wasn't the best decision on my part to date him. He introduced me to this girl who was one of his mates, and we hit it off, like got along like besties. Anyway, this is when I was living in Melbourne. Then I got my heart broken and he dumped me, and then I moved home to Newcastle and she stayed my friend. So like I lost him, but I gained her as a friend. And I don't want anyone to think anything fucking bad of this because this isn't like tea, or I don't have any bad feelings literally towards anyone in my life. So she moved to Newcastle to live with me. And then this was when I was really in my YouTube era. You know, we were like doing vlogs together and hanging out and whatever.
Going overseas.
Yeah, she was becoming like a little bit of a micro influencer herself. And I feel bad. I don't want people to like fucking think this is me like trying to expose her and like send this to her. That's my only concern.
Who cares? Even if they do send it to her. I don't think our scrollers are those type of people though. But even if we got some fake scrollers, some haters listening.
Probably.
I don't think they listen to the close friends though.
I really
Surely
want to
they'll just do
fucking
them, eh?
preface this by saying I have no fucking hard feelings towards anyone. Anyway, she was living with me and she wasn't paying rent because she was trying to get this art business up.
Which you offered.
Yes. I said, you can come live with me, and she was doing this art business, selling these arts through her Instagram, which I was helping her to build. I shouldn't have fucking done that in the first place. That's way too nice of me. But I said, you can move in with me. Let's get your art business up and running. Like, I'll help promote it through my Instagram and YouTube. And then when you get to the point of making enough money, then you can start chipping in for rent. Thinking it was going to be a few weeks or whatever. Yeah. Way too nice of me. I was really young and naive and stupid and like obviously loved her as a friend. Anyway, weeks turned into months. Her art business took off. She had this boyfriend who was from like overseas somewhere. And she still hadn't paid rent, and I was starting to get a bit awkward. This was also when I started dating AJ. So I don't know how many years ago this was, but then AJ came into the picture during this. And then she went overseas for a wedding with her partner because like one of his family members was getting married over there. And then that's when I started to get really annoyed because she hadn't been able to afford rent, but she was going to be able to afford this overseas trip kind of thing. And then so I remember saying to AJ, all right, when she's back, I'm going to ask her to start paying rent because if she can afford to go on holiday for a wedding, she can afford to pay me literally like $200 a week. Like that's all I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then I remember as she was coming back or whatever, this was so long ago. This is like 8 fucking years ago. I said to her, hey, like once you get back kind of thing. Like I remember I sat there and wrote it in my notes and I wanted it to be really nice. Like I got AJ to help me and I just said, you know, you've been on this holiday now. So like, and your art business is doing well. So when you get home, like, would it be okay if you started to pay your way in rent? And she wasn't fucking happy about that. And then like I was overseas at the time too. AJ and I went on our first holiday ever to Hawaii. And by the time I got home, she'd packed up her whole room and moved out in the middle of the night, gone. I never saw her. I never heard from her again. Like, and it was vanished. And like, she was on my social media, so it was so awkward. And I remember this was when Snapchat was a thing.
Yes,
so I like got on my Snapchat and I was like, hey guys, like, because everyone was fucking asking, where is she? And then this is when I had a lot of haters as well. And people were like, you can't keep a friend, like blah, blah, blah. And I didn't want to throw her under the bus because she'd just been like my best friend on social media. So I was like, she's gone. Like she kind of moved out and it had a bit to do with money. Like, and that was it. And I never saw her again. I never heard from her again. I remember people hated on me for that. And then I was so devastated because like I'd lost a friend all over like her not wanting to pay rent. But I really want to stress, like this is not a worry in my life now. I have no hard feelings towards her. I obviously haven't seen her because she literally packed her car and moved back to Melbourne in the middle of the night. Uh-huh. But like if I ever saw her, I'd be like, how the fuck are you? Like I have no hard feelings. I just felt like she could have gone a lot better of a way around that. She could have said, look, I can't afford rent. I'm going to move home to Melbourne.
Yeah.
But instead it was moved out in the middle of the night and I never ever saw her again. And my audience fucking hated on me for that, saying, you can't keep a friend. I'm like, no, I'm way too fucking nice and get walked over. But I've learned a lot since then. Now I don't do shit for anyone.
No. That's so weird that you would be like, hey, how you going? Like, and just...
We've spoken about this on the
Be
podcast
nice.
before, like people doing wrong by you. You know how we spoke about that and like how we would act. But like I have no hard feelings towards anyone. Like, if anyone's ever done something wrong by me in my lifetime, like I just let it go and that's fucking it. Like that's their problem and on them. Like I'm not going to see her from across the room and be like, ooh.
Oh, no.
Especially if it's
sure.
something like 8 years ago. Just be like, how the fuck you been?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you go?
So random that was 8 years ago.
I think it was, 7 years ago. Like, yeah, it was when AJ and I first got together. So it was that long ago.
Wow.
Good times. We can only
Good
laugh
times.
about the memories, you know? Wish her well.
I guess if I saw my friend that I lived with that I'm no longer friends with, like, because I miss that friendship. I'm like, I don't miss...
We had so much fun. Like, I
Right.
still laugh about some of the
Yeah.
shit that we used to do. Remember when we had
Yeah.
poos and high tea?
Yeah. Well, I when I'm looking through my videos and stuff and see videos, we just had like the best time. So I don't know what happened, and God bless, and I hope he's well. No hard feelings, but it was just really psycho because I was like you. I was like, I felt like I was trying to help, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
learn
we're
to
just
go
too
to-
high maintenance for these people,
We
darling.
are, Matt. We are. You got to be careful with how much you give to people because you will get walked over. I've learned that lesson many times in real life.
Yeah, stunning. That's your life lesson of the day, people. And the other life lesson is I've got to go top up my parking. So,
All right, well,
I better go
fucking
get out of
see
here,
ya.
doll. And I'll see you next week. Anything to say before we head off, close friends?
Nah, that's it.
Good.